What's good, y'all? We here with it on another great video with Jaimon here today, and today we going over my week. What week is it? Today we going through my Master Social Week 49 through 52 update, and it's been a cool last couple of weeks. I just finished up my classes, my courses. I took evidence-based clinical social work and advanced social policy. Those were some pretty hefty classes, as those are second year Master Social Work courses. I got them done. I got them out the way. I'm feeling good. I'm learning a lot of information, a lot of valuable information, doing some valuable group work, writing some valuable papers, and just learning things that are actually helping me in my day-by-day things. So, in my evidence-based social work class, we're talking about evidence-based modalities and things like that. So I was actually able to, in my paper, write about my evidence-based modality, functional family therapy, that I'm currently conducting with my clients, and kind of just being able to talk about that, connecting it to how it's working for the clients and things like that. So it really been able to, strengthen my knowledge in the social work realm. Right now I'm at the point to where I start 2 courses for the summer semester 1, 2 8-week courses, and then I'll start my last 2 courses in fall. So for the first part of fall, the first 8 weeks, I'll take my first course, and then my last course will be finished for the second fall, little 8-week period or something like that. So my second internship is starting now as well, and my second internship ranges from May to December. For this internship, I'm actually able to use my current job experience, but they are going to, the company is allowing me to do intake assessments, IMCAN assessments, just to be able to strengthen my knowledge in the assessment areas and things like that. So it'll be a great learning opportunity, but it'll also be something where I can do on my own time, my own pace, and it won't be nothing where I gotta stress myself out too much with it. So it's a great opportunity, and I'm excited for it. And I'm excited to get done with this Master Social Work program. I love it. I really do like the program. I like the information that we're learning, but I am ready to graduate. I am at that point to where, I'm ready to graduate, and I gotta look at it like my graduation is just the beginning. I can't look at it like, oh, I'm finna graduate and I'm done, because I'm not done. I feel like when you graduate, that's when you really got to take it upon yourself to learn that information that you need to learn, to do the research, to be able to serve our clients in the best way possible. But I'm excited to have that freedom over the education past that, because my whole life up until now I've had 1 year off between my undergrad and my master's. So I've just been in school my whole life doing a tailored education that other people want me to learn. So I'm just excited to kind of be able to take control of my education and take initiative of what I learned and things like that. So I'm just really excited. Today we're actually going through what I wish I knew before starting my Master of Social Work program. And so one of the main things that I thought is, I was working in mental health before I was going for my master's degree, and it actually encouraged me to go for my master's degree. And one thing that I said is, or one thing that I thought was, your Master of Social Work is a way for you to do therapy, a way for you to be a therapist, right? But your Master of Social Work is not just therapy school. You really learn about the social work profession as a whole. You learn about all the different opportunities, but you also learn that social work is not just about providing therapy, but it's about providing the advocacy. It's about advocating for policy changes. It's about studying the systems that are running, our world and things like that. It's about ethics. We really have to go to those NASW code of ethics, when we're doing this work, because we have to make sure that, we're doing this the right way. Like, for example, an ethic is, if you are doing therapy with a client, let's say you graduate that client, right? You can't have a dual relationship with that client, meaning you can't befriend that client. You can't hire that client. And I think that's important to kind of realize and kind of know is, so from the beginning, you're building y'all's relationship as a strictly therapeutic relationship and nothing else, So that's just kind of like an example of an ethic that, I have to make sure I draw myself into, because I'm working with these young black and brown boys and men who look up to me, who look at me like a mentor, but I'm not your mentor. I'm your therapist for the 6, 12, 18, 2-year period. That's it. That's all. There's nothing else to it. And that's the hardest part with it all, is because I want to be these kids' mentor. I want to be these kids' advocate. I want to do all these things for these kids, but we have to make sure that we're aligning with the ethics, which me going to Master of Social Work, me getting my Master of Social Work has deeply helped me with. One of the main things that I like about social work is the social justice aspect of it. We are fighting for equality. We are fighting for those with no access to resources to have access to resources. We're paying attention to the gaps in coverage, like how families who only speak Spanish in the United States are having a big problem receiving mental health services because of bilingual or Spanish speaking providers. There's a lack of Spanish speaking providers even in the Waukegan area that I work in today, and I'm seeing plenty of Spanish speaking families who are unable to find services because they don't have anyone who can provide the services to them in a culturally competent type of way. So that's just one thing. And another thing is how field placement is basically a second job. Your field placement is basically an unpaid job. And there are paid field placements, but the majority of the field placements that you'll find in social work are unpaid. And that's because this is a service field. This is a field that you're not doing for the money, but you're doing for the impact that you can create. You're doing to be able to impact these families, impact these individuals on a deeper level than just, oh, I'm doing this as a job to get paid. But let me tell you, the classes are one thing, but your field placement is where the Master of Social Work really starts feeling real, where you're using the skills that you're learning in class actively that day. You might have read something and you're able to use it in a session later that day. So you're not like just getting hours, but you're doing direct client work. You're receiving supervision. You're making sure that you're on top of your documentation for the session that you've had. You're going to meetings, you're going to trainings, and you're going to reflect a lot on your internship. The classes will teach you the lingo, the language, but the field placement teaches you how to apply it with real people and real situations in the right way. One thing that I recommend is, like, before the semester starts, map it out when you're going to be doing school, when you're going to be doing your field internships, assignments, when you're going to rest, when you're going to schedule that self-care. What's big in social work is we always talk about self-care, 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 but self-care can't just be something that we talk about. Students love to talk about it all the time, but it has to be part of our actual routine of what we're doing. It means boundaries. It means that we're getting the sleep that we need every night. It means that we're planning correctly. It means that we're receiving supervision and that we're coming to supervision prepared and ready to ask questions that we might just need help with, right? It means scheduling breaks for ourselves and knowing when we're overwhelmed, knowing when we need to say no. Right now I'm picking up a lot on my plate, and there's going to be certain things this week where I got to say no. I can't attend that meeting because I'm here all day. I can't do that because I got this going on. You know what I'm saying? So self-care is not just something that we write about in a discussion post, but it has to be something that we actually practice. And self-care isn't something that we just automatically achieve. Oh, I'm self-cared, I'm good, I got it all under control. No, but it's something that we constantly strive towards. It's something that we constantly work towards. It's something that we're constantly seeing, how can I incorporate self-care in this? How can I incorporate self-care in this? So we can create these routines and consistently make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, because we're doing very heavy work. We're doing very heavy work with these clients and hearing these heartbreaking stories of what these families are going through and what these individuals are going through. So we got to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves at night. We got to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves in the morning between sessions. We got to do these types of things. We got to take breaks sometimes. We got to say no. And that's the power of social work, is it taught me to say no. Because I had to learn that if I say yes to this, I'm saying no to something else. And sometimes the thing that I'm saying no to is more important than the thing I'm saying yes to. And that's why sometimes we got to weigh certain things in our mind. Your internship has a lot more weight than we think. We think, oh, I'm just trying to get an internship to graduate, but your internship can shape your career. So, for example, if you're on a track, like addictions track, because Master of Social Work, you have different tracks and things like that. You're required to have an internship at an addictions, an agency where you're going to be doing some addiction counseling work, and you're getting your certified alcohol and addictions counseling, is something like that. Then you're shaping your career to go into counseling those with substance use addictions. Me at Grow Community doing my internship here with Black and brown boys and men, criminal justice impacted populations, doing functional family therapy. This is shaping my career for what my specialty is, what I'm good at. I'm good at working with low socioeconomical families. I'm good at working with families with minimal and lack of resources. I'm good at dealing with families who have exposure to trauma. Another thing about my internship is I work with a lot of clients with PTSD. So that is creating a specialty for me, working with clients with PTSD, anxiety, depression, trauma, things like that. Working with these, more severe, mental challenges that people may face. Not just the ADHD and ODD. But I've also been able to have a bunch of clients with ADHD where I'm able to work with them on these things. Your internship can expose you to a bunch of different types of therapy, can introduce you to medical social work, community, mental health, nonprofit work, and even macro level of things. So my current internship with the FFT department, or previous, we're working together on how we can create our own family modality, how we can create our own family program to be able to provide family therapy on a larger scale, and creating, okay, what are the steps of this? Let's create an evidence-based modality. Let's create an evidence-based program. And I'm actually able to create things on a macro level, so they just give you so much opportunity to be able to really step into the social work realm, which I have really appreciated so much. And the last thing is social work values will change how you see the world. As a master social work student, you really start to understand people, systems, behaviors, and yourself a little better. You understand why you do the certain things that you do. You start looking at behavior and asking about, okay, what trauma could have led to this? What in this individual's environment, their risk and protective factors could have influenced this? Does this family have poverty? What is the dynamics of the specific family? What's the culture? Has this individual that I'm working with been oppressed? And then looking at access to more resources and things like that. So, and social work also challenges you to really just be able to see things from a systematic approach, realizing systematic racism is a real thing, and that's something that is not really common knowledge, but in the social work profession, it's common knowledge. Systematic racism is a real thing. And it's argued in any other profession, in politics, whatever. But with social work, everyone's kind of coming together for a holistic approach. We're looking on how we can truly look out and heal and be here for those who are least advocated for it. And that's why I'm really drawn to social work. It teaches you to look at what happened to someone instead of what's wrong with them. It doesn't mean that we're teaching individuals to not have accountability, but it means to understand the full picture of what this client's gone through before we judge them. So if you're thinking about starting a Master of Social Work program, you should definitely check it out. I wouldn't just tell you not to do it. I would tell you to understand what you're stepping yourself into. I wouldn't tell you to do it. I would tell you to understand what you're stepping into. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of things that people confuse social work with, and there's other degrees that might fit you a little better. But social work has something true in my heart, and I love social work, and I love this work that I'm able to do. And I'm honestly just grateful to have gone through this experience in my Master of Social Work, and I'm excited to graduate in December and get my career started on another level. So without further ado, I appreciate you all for tuning in. That's another great video here today. Y'all go check out the main channel, Jaimon Live. I'm starting to post a lot more self-improvement, mental health related videos on there every Saturday, Sunday. So y'all go check it out. Peace.